Good evening and welcome to the Whiskey Lover Society with me, Tiff. And tonight we are tasting a Wee Beastie, Ardbeg 5-year-old Wee Beastie. And if I look at the information on the bottle, it says it is the ultimate Islay single malt Scotch whiskey, non-chill filtered. It is a monster of a dram, and then they give a little bit of small print on the bottle as well, and it is just a little bit of a tasting notes. So I'm not going to go in it, but I already saw young, intense, smoky. So a lot of people that know me also know that I'm not really a big fan of the smoke, but I've had the Lefroy 10, and I'll put a link in the description. And I actually enjoyed the Lefroy 10 with a little bit of water in it. I also enjoyed the Bowmore 12, also enjoyed the Bowmore 18-year-old. So wasn't looking forward to this one, but I think it is time to open the bottle and to see what it's about and to see what nose taste I can get out of it. So I do think it is time to open the bottle. A little bit of more information. It is a reminder, it is bottled at 40% ABV. It is there is no information on the color on the in the whiskey, if they have added any color. I don't know. We will have a look. With the green bottle, it's very difficult to see the color of the whiskey. Got a nice pop to it. Whoosh. I already get the smoke in it, color wise. Quite a bit of color in it for only a 5-year-old. So I'm not sure. I will have a look on the website and see if I can find any information with regards to the coloring. But it is a nice golden color, and already I can get the smoke coming out. Well, I was expecting for something that called a Wee Beastie. Well, maybe the wee part is not such a big beast after all. But I do get the smoke in it. Quite a lovely light smoke actually. I think I'm getting climatized with a different type of heavy smoke, because this one is definitely not that a big smoke for me. But at this stage, I only get a little bit of a smoke. So the first thing that I get is a smoke, but it's a very light smoke. I was definitely expecting much more from this. From the videos that I've seen with regards to the Wee Beastie and the people's reaction to how strong and smoky it is, I don't get that. So it is a very light smoke, but I do get the smoke and a little bit of a vanilla note coming out now. And I suspect that is something to do with the ex-bourbon casks. It's also matured between the ex-bourbon casks and ex-Oloroso sherry casks. So I do get a little bit of a vanilla note. A little bit of a fruity note also coming out. A dry apple note in it. And now I get a little bit of a cinnamon. And that is that. Maybe if I give it a little bit of extra time, but I don't get anything else other than the smoke. And it is not a bad smoke. I think it's quite a savory smoke, maybe a little bit of a smoke that when you make a barbecue and you have use oak chips on your fire, and you get a little bit of a sweetness of the smoke. But that is that. So on the taste, cheers. I wasn't expecting that. It's quite sweet, a little smoky, but the smoke is more like a nice bacon with maple syrup on it, with a hint of cinnamon. I was worried about this one, and I wasn't sure if it's going to be something that I would like. The 5 years, I think it's a good time in the bottle. The oakiness just starting to appear, so there's not a lot of oak notes in. If I go for the second sip, I do get a little bit of oakiness coming out, but the sweetness is quite balancing out the oak and the sweetness. A little bit oily. You do get a peat, and there's a little bit of a bitter note or a peppery note that's coming out now. It's a friendly dram. It's actually something that I would tell people if you want to try the smoky one for the first time. This is quite nice, and I think I'm going to add a little bit of water in this one. I think that's going to be perfect, especially at 47% ABV. I also get a little bit of a dark chocolate note coming out now. Yeah, I think that's the note. It's not complex, and I think well, for me in my mind, it is half of the 10 years old one, and I'm not so sure about this one. It's not unpleasant. I get the smoke, but it is definitely not high. Maximum for me, maybe 45 parts per million. So actually quite a sweet smoke. A little bit of oiliness, a little bit of a bacon, sweet bacon flavors coming out. Maybe a little bit of a smoked ham. And now I get a little bit of a bitter oak notes coming out. And that is more or less the notes that I get. I'm definitely not impressed with this one. It's not really bad, but it's not really good. If you compare the nosing and the tasting, it's quite one-dimensional. Nothing to see, nothing to smell, other than the smoke. And on the taste is the smoke and maybe one or two other notes that I pick up, but it is that. So is it a good buy? I'm not so sure. It is quite expensive. It is just a little bit cheaper than a 10-year-old, and I think in the 10-year-old, you're going to get much more bang for your buck, and you're going to get much more nosing flavors, and you're going to get more taste out of a 10-year-old. So will I buy it again? Probably not. Will I finish the bottle? Probably. But score-wise, I am looking at a maximum of a 85 out of 100, and I think I'm being generous with this one. So that's all for me on the Wee Beastie, which is not so big of a beast after all. So please remember to like and subscribe, and I see you next time. Cheers.